What's good, my monks and disciples? It is your master, Shaolin Pretzels, and welcome to the Dragon Punch Online 20 pre-show. We're about to get things started right about now. Thank you guys very much for tuning in. For those of you guys who are unfamiliar with what you're currently watching right now, if you haven't been around for the past 20 weeks, I don't know where you've been. We are currently streaming Dragon Punch, the Ohio FGC's premier online fighting game tournament series. This week, we are running our Street Fighter V bracket, Power Rangers Battle for the Grid, Killer Instinct, Tekken 7, Multi-Blood, and Dragon Ball Fighters. The lineup's changed a bit over these past 20 weeks, but one thing's staying the same. We always got Street Fighter here, and we're always having a Street Fighter stream. So I'm going to get started with the pre-show. We're going to go over some of the notable stats and analytics to give you what's going down with the Ohio FGC. Alright, so let's get started here. So, it's been a couple weeks since we last did our pre-show. I believe we did our pre-show before or after DPO 15, in which we've had our ever continuous reigning champion, Core Jam, fight it out with Hitman for like numerous tying spots. So for DPO 15, Core Jam won with Laura, Hitman won DPO 16 with Bison, and then Core Jam, Hitman for DPO 17 through 19. Will we have a different champion this week? I don't know. Corey is entering today, so I feel sorry for those of you who are actually competing today. God bless your soul. But in terms of like how dominant those two individuals are, you can kind of see it from here from this general pie chart. I'm gonna zoom in for a little bit. I usually don't zoom in too much, but there's a lot of stats to go over, so I'm gonna zoom in. All right, so a little bit easier to see here. Just to give you an idea of like how much our champions have like continuously been winning DPOs, we've run 19 of these so far, and of those 19, Core Jam has won 8 and Hitman has won 8. These two are like continually fighting it out for like who's won the most DPOs. Meanwhile, we have resident champions for Toledo and Cincy here, Mr. Softleys and Ultimate Vitality respectively, and Columbus's own Setman here as well. In terms of what this does for the city representation in terms of winning, Columbus is actually ahead. No one tell Comatose this. But Columbus is actually ahead by 9. I told Corey this after Dragon Punch concluded that last week, but because Setman is also from Columbus and Hitman is from Columbus, Columbus currently has the most wins of a DPO, managing to beat Akron. Like Akron's had like a very consistent reign over like the percentage of wins per city, and that's just been all Core Jam. So it's interesting for me to see that Akron for once isn't in the lead. Yeah, Core Jam versus Columbus. That's basically the narrative. Austin, you gotta get more Cincy people out here. I don't know what to tell you. In terms of character representation, pretty much the same as reflective of the champion representation here. A lot of our champions are mostly character specialists. It's difficult for me to say that everyone here is a character specialist. Hitman primarily plays Bison in tournament. I've seen him play the Shotos before. He used to play Sakura in Street Fighter 4. Mostly plays Bison in tournament. Core Jam has experimented with a number of characters over the years of Street Fighter 5 being out, but Laura has been his consistent go-to tournament character. Although he has also played Seth and Kage and Sakura and G, and there's another character I'm forgetting, Ed. Yep. But ride and die when the pressure's high. Core Jam gonna stick it out with Laura. Not sure why there's a separate M Bison spot. Oh, that's because there's I forgot to add a space to one of the new Bisons, so that explains that. All right, well that'll fix itself whenever it feels like fixing itself. Okay. There we go. So and again, going back to character specialist, Ultimate Vitality primarily plays Jury. I don't know why he still only plays Jury, because he has a pocket Zeku and a pocket Akuma. My man could be winning so many more DPOs if he just went with either one of those two characters. Like seriously, bro. Setman isn't really a character Setman's Birdie is his best character. I'm gonna leave it at that. I'm just gonna leave it there. And Misopheles, I've never seen Misopheles not play Akuma. So, pretty much, for the most part, these guys tend to all stick with the same characters. The only one I've ever seen like very actively switch is probably Setman, but even then, at the end of the day, Birdie is where his heart's at. His heart is always set on that slob of a, yeah. Before I actually go into like the general like entry data, I'm just gonna go back and showcase some of the players that have made some notable waves in the recent top fours. First of all, a lot of Hondas. We have 3 Hondas across like the past like 5 DPOs in top 8. The last one got 2nd place. We've had the AW in we had the AW in 3rd in DPO 17. The AW in 4th in DPO 18. There's so much Honda. So much Honda. It's actually wild. Oh, fudge. I just wanted to point that out. I just wanted to Honda top 5. Yeah, that's totally I totally agree with you there, Vitality. Honda top 5. I'm seeing a couple of notable Cleveland names in here, namely Mr. David Swoops and Mr. THCB. Almost clutching it out. Get a win. But speaking of Cleveland, let's talk about the city of Cleveland real quick. All right, Cleveland, most top 4s, the most number of players in a top 4 across any DPO. Most amount of entrants per city in DPO. Again, Cleveland. You look at these stats, and then number of times that Cleveland's been in the grand finals. I will continue bringing up this narrative until one of you guys actually get into, like, until you guys actually win a DPO. Because you guys have gotten so close. And like literally every other major city in Ohio has like gotten a win. Cincy got a win. Columbus got a win. Toledo got a win. Akron got a win. Akron's got several wins. Hashtag Team Akron. Cleveland, I need you guys to step things up, please. Like, this is almost embarrassing at this point. We've gone through like nearly 20 DPOs and y'all still haven't won one. But I digress. Looking at representation across numerous different cities, I really need to change this label for cities represented, because there's a bunch of non-Ohio cities included here. We've had invaders in the past. Let's just leave it at that. Obviously, we've had Tega from New York City. That's where the NYC comes from. No Good Citizen from Indianapolis. AU Claire, which I believe is Wisconsin. I forget who. I could probably check along here, but AU Claire, Monk Unit 2. There we go. So yeah, mostly Ohio entrants here in terms of like the massive number of entrants we've had over the past like 20 DPOs, of which we've had, I believe, 68 unique entrants. So over the past 20 weeks, we've had 68 unique entrants in a DPO, and a bunch of fairly consistent ones at that. Our champions, obviously very consistent in our entry. Like, I want to say, I should have done a metric for this too. I want to say that like over like 60% of people who have entered DPO once have entered in like multiple times. That'll be a metric that it would be interested to actually like include. I'll try to include a pie chart for that next time. But one metric I did add to the entry data is bracket resets, because one thing I realized whenever spoiler alerts, Hitman reset the bracket from losers last week, is that we don't see bracket resets too often in Dragon Punch Online. So I went through all the brackets again, and I did a little bit of research. Over the course of 20 DPOs, or 19 so far, we have only had 4 bracket resets. There have only been 4 times whenever someone's reset a bracket in our tournament. And here's the interesting thing. Of those 4 times that someone has reset the bracket, only 2 of those times have they actually won. So what I mean by that is, like, if someone in losers reset the bracket in grand finals, only 50% of the time they've actually ended up winning the tournament. And of those 2 people to achieve that feat are Hitman and Mr. Mistopheles. So so both those instances would be Hitman resetting the bracket against Majin Chancho last week, and Mr. Mistopheles resetting the bracket against Shingun in I want to say that's Dragon Punch 8. One of my favorite Dragon Punches, by the way. If you want to go ahead and check that out, I totally recommend you check out our YouTube channel, youtube.com/Shaolin Pretzels. Actually, I don't have that URL yet, but just look for Shaolin Pretzels on YouTube. I'm gonna post a link in the chat right now. If you want to check out our previous DPO tournaments, whenever DPO is done, I immediately take the VOD and get it prepped and ready for YouTube. So I try to make sure that that after we finish a DPO, it's instantly, well, not instantly up on YouTube, but it's up on YouTube the Monday immediately after when it was streamed. So if you guys end up missing any of the action here, that's fine. The VOD will be up on YouTube on Monday at 12 p.m. EST. So that's something to look forward to. And I have all of our DPOs archived up to this point. So that's one thing I'm kind of proud of that I've actually did, that I like recorded like every single DPO. So if you want to watch every DPO from the beginning, you can be sure to check that out over on the YouTube channel as well.